The New York Jets are now almost, I'll say almost, and I think it's really, really, really close. They are almost the Rams of 2022. They are just about to the point of being a one-year super team. I can probably correct that and even talk myself into it. It's not going to be difficult. They actually are a one-year super team. By the way, I don't think it's a bad idea. I've argued this for many, many years. This you should plan on trying to build football teams, professional football teams, on a 3-year increment. Then you blow it up. That's it. Well, what they've done is they're on about a 1.5-year increment. The cheering sound that you're going to hear is the networks and the platforms. If you want to accuse them all of a conspiracy, go right ahead. I don't think you need to call it a conspiracy. This is exactly what the media industry and the pro football industry really want. They're thrilled they matter. And man, do they matter a lot. So, sure, the networks and the league want them to have a super team. They really do. We all do. It's fun. But that cheering sound, no doubt, is coming from the media partners of the NFL and the NFL itself. New York matters. And that we never say that. I don't think in most of our lifetimes, I don't think the Jets have mattered. In fact, they've been an afterthought. They've been a joke. They've been pathetic. They're one of the most pathetic franchises in all of sports. And take a look now. Here I am sitting here today saying, yep, it's a one-year super team. I think I'm right. Go ahead and try to provide me an example of, and I'm trying to think about the Golden State Warriors. Same thing. In most of your life, they never mattered. And in the last few years, they've mattered. But find an example of a franchise as awful as the New York Jets franchise has been. I've told you many, many times, the owner, Woody Johnson, inherited his money, and he is a buffoon. Well, he is now sitting on football gold. He really is. Everything is working for them. But try to find another example of a franchise, a sports franchise that is so pathetic that has had this kind of ridiculous 1.5-year turnaround. You could even say a summer turnaround. That's what it's been. I mean, I don't know anything like it. I really don't. Golden State came out of nowhere. They did. But I don't think it's to the level of this yet. So there's that part, which is pretty fascinating by itself. I mean, you've got the ultimate media angle of a team that's already on Hard Knocks. It's a team that has already maxed out its TV appearances, its platform appearances, and I don't think it'll be crazy if the NFL adds to it. They are going to be the primetime game all the time. And they are, in 1.5 years now, an NFL super team. It's not an exaggeration. It's really not. They're the only thing close to the Rams of 2022, which was really a team that was built for a season, just like this. And I think that the Rams roster was slightly better, maybe. You can make an educated argument right now that the Jets of 2023 are the Rams of 2022 when they won the Super Bowl and should have. They were built for that reason. Well, guess what? The Jets are now built for that reason. The Jets now compare in every way to the Rams super team of 2022. They have both. They have the offensive and defensive rookies of the year. At the 2 of the 4 most important spots in football, receiver and corner, they have one of the best defensive lines in the game today. They have one of the individual best defensive linemen in the game today. They have a 4-time MVP, first ballot Hall of Fame quarterback. They have a great receiver who happened to be Offensive Rookie of the Year, and now they have one of the best running backs in the league. Dalvin Cook is his name, and he signed a 1-year contract with the Jets, a 1-year deal. That's because it's a 1-year super team. He's a quarterback's best friend, and guess what? When the quarterback is almost 40 years old, he's really the quarterback's best friend. He's been to the Pro Bowl, I think it's 4 straight years. The only advantage, if I compare this built super team to the built Rams super team, the only advantage I might give to the Rams of 2022 or whatever that year was they won the Super Bowl is that their offensive line was better. They had an additional great receiver because they remember that Cooper Kupp and Odell Beckham Jr. And Odell Beckham Jr., the year they won the Super Bowl, was on his way to being the MVP before he got hurt. So I guess you could argue the Rams were better there, but the Rams didn't have Dalvin Cook nor Sauce Gardner, the cornerback, and they didn't have Aaron Rodgers. This is ridiculous. It's cool and ridiculous. So, when you sit back and take it in, then you get to the dramatic part, right? I'm saying all this stuff without them having played a game. But all we now know is rosters. And they've built I'm going to say it. They have built top to bottom what is now probably the best roster in the NFL. And when I say roster, I'm not talking about 2 or 3 stars. I'm talking about, remember, you don't win Super Bowls with 2 or 3 players. You win Super Bowls with the best players that are probably numbers 12 to number 40, right? That's the bulk of your team. How good are those guys? You can go pay for a superstar, but how good are your players 12 through 40? And this team is up there. I mean, Philadelphia, if you want to argue, might have a slightly deeper and better roster, but I don't know. This one's ridiculous now. Yeah, they're as good. Their roster is as good as anyone in the game today. They've done everything possible to load up. And then they had Dalvin Cook, which was rumored for a while, and it's ridiculous. So, all right, now we got to get the scorecard out here. So now we got to decide what's successful and what's a bust. Okay? You could easily say to Robert Saleh, the head coach, and Aaron Rodgers, you could easily say this. You could start saying it out loud right now. And I'm pretty sure in New York they are saying this. What you say is, if you 2 guys, if you don't play in the AFC Championship game, you have failed. Period. I'm on the low end right there. There's no doubt about that now. When they added Dalvin Cook and everything else they have, then they don't play for the AFC Championship. It's an absolute full failure. Robert Saleh's out of a job, and he should be. Now, I think maybe a lot of people will argue, and I don't know that I would completely disagree, that you would have to say this to Robert Saleh, the head coach, who I think might be kind of a doofus himself. So there's reason to be concerned. But you certainly say it to Aaron Rodgers. And what you say is, if you don't play in the Super Bowl, you failed. I'm not sure that's outrageous either. I'm not sure it's incorrect. Okay, hipster boy. You got everything. They gave him everything he's asked for. I don't know of another time when another player has been able to dictate an entire roster, an entire coaching staff like this. Come up with that argument too. I'm happy to argue these things. So you could say to Aaron Rodgers, forget the head coach. I mean, he may not even matter. And you say, if you don't play in the Super Bowl, you failed. Then I think some people today and over the next several days and throughout the season, this is amazing pressure. This is amazing pressure, but it's justified. If you don't win the Super Bowl, some people will say, it's a failure. You failed. It's on you, hipster. I think all those things apply. I think all those arguments can easily be made. I don't think it's a stretch. I don't think it's dumb at all to say any of those things. I'm not quite sure I'm ready to go quite that far to say if you don't win the Super Bowl, you fail, but I think it's pretty close. Because I don't know what any other franchise could do. I don't know for any single player that I can remember somebody being able to walk in the building and say, I need all of this stuff. I need coaches. I need you know what? I need a great running back. Go get that too for me right now. And they did it. They've done everything that guy has asked. He has been given everything He's asked for coaches. He's asked for players. He's asked for money. They have given him every single thing he wants. And I don't think it's outrageous for someone to turn around and say, is there anything else you need, hipster? No? Okay. Well, here's the deal. We gave you everything you wanted. Now go out there and do with your neck beard or whatever you're doing, anti-Fauci comments, and you better win the freaking Super Bowl or it's on your legacy. That's how I think this thing is setting up, which is fine. I mean, I think he probably wants that. I mean, but I do think this is kind of legacy time. He's going to be the first ballot Hall of Famer. He is. No matter what. But this is such a buildup. This is so over the top in terms of giving you every single toy that you want. Anything less than playing in the Super Bowl to most fans, and particularly in New York now. Okay, he's not playing Green Bay. Anything that goes wrong, they're coming after him. And anything short of a Super Bowl hurts his legacy. You know, if they end this season and Aaron Rodgers' career ends with having won one championship over a decade ago, it will be viewed as somewhat of a failure. It will. And in this case, it's probably fair. I'm not quite sure you can dump all that on him through the years in Green Bay. This time you can say there's never been a quarterback given more than what Aaron Rodgers has been given. Never. I mean, their entire backfield is ridiculously good. Ridiculously good. And their offense doesn't have to be that great. It should, but it doesn't even have to because their defense is that great. I mean, it's one thing to say, all right, we've loaded you up with great offensive players. You got to go score 45 points. They don't have to do that at all. At all. Because their defense will bail them out. It is a legacy. It is an entire legacy is going to be judged by this season. And it's completely fair. You know, when people go, that people won't do this. He might. Now, here's the issue. He's getting everything he wants. The fans know he's getting everything he wants. The media now knows he's getting everything he wants. When it doesn't go exactly as planned. I mean, the standard for this team is so ridiculous. The standard for him is so high now. Every bad outing, every bad quarter, a loss here or there, and they are going to hear it, man. And he doesn't like that. So it'll be fascinating. It really will. This is, as usual, the NFL is the dramatic gift that keeps giving. And to have New York matter to this extent is ridiculously cool. It really is. And I'm saying all this, even had they not signed Dalvin Cook, but you just added a spectacular offensive player. I mean, spectacular offensive player. You can say running backs don't matter. When your quarterback is 40, guess what matters? Running backs. And they've got them. They've got them. So, I don't know, Super Bowl or bust? Yeah, probably. They don't play in the Super Bowl. Robert Saleh gets fired, and he should. And Aaron Rodgers, he will be so bent out of shape if he is booed and criticized because this super team, one-year super team, doesn't go to the Super Bowl. It's on him.